Hello and welcome back. And so now let's start with a profile. This events table configuration. Okay. So let's take the events table. First, let me create a model. So I just create another TypeScript. Just say I event. Okay. So in this, let's take import again mongoose from mongoose. So once you make the mongoose, and let's say no, it's interface. So export interface. I event. Okay, and so this should extend from the MongoDB document. So let's say here this should extends the say document. Okay, and then inside you have to specify the fields. Let's say underscore id of type string, and what else you have event name and the events. Mm, what you have actually? Yeah, name, image, price, date, info. Okay, image, price, date, info, type, and also created at optional string, updated at optional string. Okay, done. So this represents your table fields, but actual schema you have to create for that on top of this one. So let's create a schema just like your user schema. So I just go to here and let's create a TypeScript. Just say event. Okay. Let's say import mongoose. Let's say import mongoose from mongoose, and I need few things from here. One is the schema, and one is document. Okay, I think not document. I need model. Document already made. Okay. Now let's say let's event schema of type schema is equal to new mongoose dot schema. So you must have to specify few things here. Okay. So what you're going to specify here is the definition, schema definition. So first thing is name is required. ID don't need to mention. So name is required. So it's a type capital string, and required is true. Okay, comma. Another one, just say image also, yeah, required. And next, what do you have? Price, date, info, type. Okay, let's say price. Price must be a number. Let's say number. Price, date field is string only. You can just take string format. Doesn't matter. Price, date, information about this string, and also one more um, type. What type of the event it is here. Okay, and also extra you need to add thing is create an update option. So let's say give timestamps. So if you give timestamps true, this will make create update dates automatic. Yeah, once a schema created, let's create the actual model. So let's say let's event of type model on I event model is equal to mongoose dot model, and here you specify what you specify the table name event comma event schema. Okay, so table ready. Yep, and let's export this. Let's say export default event. So this actually represents your table from the backend. Okay, events and user both are ready, and now let's start with the actual router configuration. Let's back to the registration user router. Yep. So where we stop, we actually brought everything, and I received the form data from the client. So check if user is exists or not. So for this I do one thing. I'll make this is asynchronous and asynchronous function, right? So you can write the async await. So I'll say let user of type iUser is equal to await. Just wait for the table. Let's import table also. Import user. Sorry, import user. User is your actual table. Okay. So this is just a model, but this is a table. Okay. So await capital user dot find one. You can just provide an email. Email is email, the email which you receive from the form. Okay. So you will get the table. Okay, sorry, you get the particular row based on the condition called email. Okay, but it says it can be null. Okay, if no data, it can be null. Okay, so user is exists, if user is exists, the problem, right? So if user is already exists, then is a problem. So what I say, if user is exists, I say return response dot status. I just provide of 400 bad request. Just say dot JSON. I will provide an object in that errors will be an array. In that a message will be user is already exist. Okay, so this is the error message, user has already been exist. If user already exists, that's the return statement. So what happen if this success, it will return, just come out from the logic. Okay, it won't go for the next line of registration, because if user already exists, then you can't register, right? Next up, so once, if not user already exists, then you supposed to register. Before register, you need to encrypt the password. How you encrypt the password? Let's import what? Bcrypt from bcrypt.js. I need one more. I need JWT token also. So just say from JSON web token. I also need the gravatar. Let's say import avatar from um, gravatar. Okay, done. So these three. So first, let's to encrypt a password. Let salt is equal to await bcrypt dot gen salt of 10 rounds. Okay, and once it is made, I just get the password. So I just make assign to the my local password is equal to await bcrypt dot hash. So here I provide the password and the salt. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking the existing password data, I'm putting into hash, and once the hash is got, I'm assigning back to the same password variable. Okay, and let's say get the avatar URL. So you may get the avatar URL using this gravatar database. So what I do, let URL not URL, just say avatar is equal to uh, gravatar. mm, you have import something na? Oh, you import there only, just say gravatar. Okay, so let's say let avatar URL is equal to gravatar dot email, no, gravatar dot URL. In that you just provide the email, comma, a few options you have to provide. S for size, around some 300 pixels. R for rating, some PG, the global rating for your image. And D for default image, just say mm. Okay, so with this, it will create, it will fetch the image URL of your email ID. So if you log in with your email ID, so that email specific image you're gonna get. Okay, I'll show you. So once everything is done, as per my user, name, email, password, avatar, admin comes automatic. So these four, yes, of course I got. So once you got register, how we register? So let's thing is, yeah, user is equal to new user with the data. What data? Name is required. Name, email. and password, name, email, password, and what else? Avatar. Yeah, these four variables, I mean these four properties I got. And let's say user is equal to await, let's say user dot save. So when I call this function, it saves into databases. Okay, and once it is success, so let's make the message registration is success. Okay, that's fine. So we are actually done with now. Yeah, see. So now we are done with user registration. Okay, so first we have, so let me recap. So first we have checked the form data. So we evaluate the form data. If it is any problem with the form evaluation, I mean validation, you get the error here. And I receive the complete form data. And I check if user already exists with the same email ID. So it throws this error. And if not, let's come to the next line. So here I'm just encrypting the password, storing the same variable, and I'm creating the other URL, and then I'm registering a user, just saving to database. Okay, save. uh, Generally command line you have insert one, insert many, and here we have a save function from mongoose. Okay, so that's done, and my server is up and running. So let's test it out. So how you test, and also please check your database. See, this is your database, and if I refresh, yes, events booking has come newly. Okay, so how this events booking has created an inside users table has made is just because of your configuration. So this because of your schema creation is made it. And how does this events booking has configured is in the server, right? So in server, while connecting, we have given the MongoDB URL, and that specifies the MongoDB database. Okay, so that's why it's created automatically. So you don't need to go and run some scripts to create tables in MongoDB. This everything happens in programmatic. If you want to change even table structure also, you have to go to program and change. Where you change? In the schema. Okay, that's fine, and no data in my users table. Let me register. So I have a registered user Rajan, Gmail ID, and this guy. Or can I do one thing? If you want to specify the image of the URL also, let me take my name and I say my name dot uibrains at gmail.com, and I just specify some dummy password, doesn't matter. Okay, and click on send. What happened? See, you got the message registration is success. So if you get registration is success, go back to your database and check. So refresh. See, you got data in database, right? And this what happened just because of your application logic, the REST API logic. Okay. So when I see this, is admin is false by default because default value is false, and name, email, and password. See, password has come as encrypted password, and avatar URL. So I show you how the avatar URL looks like. Let me go to the here avatar URL. Let me get this avatar URL. So whose URL has come? Because I have login with naveen at gmail.com, right? So whose avatar URL comes is just go to Google and just paste your avatar URL and search. See, I got my profile picture. So when I log in with my email ID, I got my profile picture. So how does it got is from Gravatar database. So there is one a website called Gravatar. So when you go to Gravatar, so here in this you must have to log in and register your image. So my avatar profile is gonna get that. Okay, that way it should come. Okay, mm, done, super, and I registered successfully. That's fine. And the next video, let's start with the login functionality. Thank you so much for watching, and please do subscribe to my channel, and we'll meet in the next video. Thank you.